Welcome. This is G. You're watching All Astrology. We have an eclipse coming in October. So, Libra, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about where the eclipse happens in your life, what area of your life. Could be your love life or your career, or it could be family and home. It could be children. So we'll find out. We'll take a deep dive together and we'll find that out. And then I'll give you a card. I'll actually shuffle some cards up and we'll pull a card just to give you a little bit more details, to give you a visual, to give you, some call it like a clarifier card, right? Then after that, I'm going to discuss Mars. I'm going to talk about Mars and where Mars, for the next 7 months of your life, where Mars is going to be taking action. Okay. And I'll also talk about, like what house placement in terms of, is it money? Is it love? Is it family? Is it career? We're going to find all these things out. So stick with me. And then you'll, of course, I forgot, you'll get a card for that one too. So just 2 cards for this video. I'm going to try to condense this and do it quickly for you. So let's begin with the eclipse. So eclipses are important to talk about because when eclipses occur, things happen. If you have something at the degree of the eclipse, you can be certain that you will see very clearly how the eclipse shows up in your life. You'll feel it and you'll see it in a very physical way. It won't necessarily be about emotions, because this eclipse is a solar eclipse. And so what that tells us, when I say solar, it just means that it's going to be something that's in the material and the tangible world. Okay. Solar is the sun. So when we talk about the sun, think of the way you express, the way you radiate, the way you communicate. Okay. The way you uniquely shine and stand out among your friends. Okay. Because it's like this sunny Leo type of energy, very fiery. Okay. So it's powerful. And it's a place in our life where we kind of feel like we're in charge. All right. So it's a solar eclipse, but it is a new moon solar eclipse. All right. So that means we got the sun and the moon working together. And whenever we have a new moon, it means it's a new beginning. Okay. It's a new beginning. So it could be something tangible, a tangible new beginning. And if it's a new beginning and it's tangible, you probably would be smart to set yourself some sort of intentions, whether you call them dreams or wishes or prayers, however that feels right for you. Okay. Libras, you are having a new moon solar eclipse in your second house. So yes, the astrology, when I say second house, that means your income. It means what you value, your money, your love, right? Who you love, what you love. Second house is also like your creature comfort energy. So when we say creature comforts, it's kind of like, the whole Taurus stuff. So it's like my tastes, my touch, my smell, my clothing. It's all the 5 senses, all the 5 senses. It's like when you're in the house or when you go out, or you're shopping even, Venus, Taurus, shopping, likes to buy things, goods and services, right? Like you're a shopper, or you like purses or handbags or wallets or shoes, accessories, but fine things, okay? Nice, fine, quality things, okay? Because you got an eclipse happening in your second house of what I value, who I value. It could be your marriage partner, because this is your second house, so it's who I love. And it's also my self-love. Do I love myself? How much do I love myself? Do I love myself enough? And is there something I have to do there to, instead of reaching out and wanting other people's energy to show me love, I love myself so much and enough that I don't seek with outside of myself, right? If I get recognition from others, or if others, pat me on the back, or if they say, hey, you mean so much to me, and they value you as a friend or as a mate, that's wonderful. But it can never take the place of the love, the deep, intense love, because you've got like Scorpio energy in this placement. So there's like this past life soul history stuff that you carry here. Okay. So you're going to have values that are deeply rooted, values that go way the hell back, that it's not about your personality and the person that you are today. Okay. It's very historical with you. So you probably value history, right? But you're also going to value things that have history, things that you literally can pick up and feel a sense of history with. All right. So you may be somebody who can, maybe into antiques, or just into things that that just seem to hold a greater value beyond just the material, very complex. So it's my values are what the things that you value. My values now become your values. Your values become my values. Meaning it could be material things, typically, is what that would mean. Now, it does mean we can latch on to others in terms of what they value. We're like, oh, well, yeah, I value that. I value you. I see that what you value. So now I value that. Now, it's not like some blindfolded, closed eye thing where we're just completely ignorant and single eyed, right? It's just over time, if you value somebody, right, especially if there's like soul history involved, you're going to latch on to that and who which they value. Unless there's like this, other stuff, but that's getting more complex and that's for another time altogether. So what does this have to do with the eclipse? How can I tie this all up? Well, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. So it's quite possible that it's not just about your income, because we also are talking about Scorpio energy. It's also your shared values, which means your partner's income, your partner's values. Now, I will say that this is the placement here for insurance money, inheritances. You've got this in your second house. So if someone were to pass on, or if there was an insurance thing, you're likely going to not always benefit in some way, but it's a good possibility. Okay. So when we talk about a new beginning, there might be some of that happening, right? Now, the thing I have to talk a little bit deeper about is that because it's a new beginning and it's a solar eclipse, and because it's Scorpio, it's a new beginning, but it doesn't come without a release. It means we have to release something basically in order to make room for the new. Right. It's kind of like a catch-22, right? It's like, okay, wait a minute. I thought I was just going to be in the receptive mode. And it's like, no, it's actually not that simple. You have, Librans have some complex energy. They just do, right? They've got some complex, powerful things happening all the time. And it's a mixed bag for you. And not just you, for a lot of us, because it's a new moon eclipse, but yet it's in Scorpio. So it's a south node solar eclipse, right? Which just means south node just means I'm releasing, I'm letting go. So in other words, you're releasing some values. So it could be money. Okay. It could be like taxes too, because this is also that Scorpio energy. So insurance money, taxes, but you'll be getting something new for it. It's a release, but it's a release that's making room for something or somebody new. Okay. Now, it happens at 2 degrees of Scorpio. Okay. So 2 degrees of Scorpio. Now, you want to pay attention to the 2 degrees of Scorpio, but you also want to pay attention to the energy at opposite of it, which is 2 degrees of Taurus. And yeah, we're talking about your second and your eighth houses. And so second is my income, my values. Eighth house is that Scorpio energy I talk about. It's releases and letting go, right? But let's also remember it's also healing. So it's deep wounds, releasing deep wounds. So there's something for you where, whether you're aware of it or not, you may do it subconsciously, but you're carrying around wounds from the past. And it's not just past from like this lifetime, like, okay, I was a child or a previous marriage, or, you know what I'm saying? It's not just those wounds. These are wounds from other lifetimes that you not only carry around, but that you hold dearly. You value these things. Now, the tricky thing here is that soul memory can be extremely beneficial. It's to guide you through the next experience. We'll put it like that. Okay. But because it's Scorpio, it's deep emotional wounds. So likely you hold on to these things to maybe not make the same mistake twice, or whatever it is that you're trying to protect yourself from. But if there's a new moon beginning and a release, hopefully it helps you to release some of those no longer needed deep emotional memory wounds, right? Letting go of some of that stuff. It's already served you. And now it's time to move on and make room for new people, new memories, new souls, to make room for the new. So now we're going to mix this baby up one more time and split the deck, they're telling me. So we're going to do that. We're going to cut the deck right there. And I'll just throw those puppies on the bottom, and you're taking the first card on top. I'm sorry if you can't see it. I didn't realize I was all the way over there. And let's see what we got for you. As a clarifier. Alrighty, this is interesting because it's got Scorpio on it. You see that? So that's Scorpio energy. Scorpio's right there for you. It's releasing, it's letting go, because it tells us these past wounds are strings. It's the past that this is you, right? The strings are attached to the wounds. Look at that. So it's the wounds from the past, the energy and those experiences, the energetic bonds. It's time to cut the bonds. It's time to cut the bonds. They no longer serve you. You're carrying them around whether you're aware of it or not. It's time to release them. See how it shows it's from the past? Yep. Could be wound from mom because it's feminine energy, or some other female, right? Yep, this is a Scorpio Taurus card. So this is so wild because this is exactly what this eclipse is for you. I'm like amazed by this. Yeah. See, values, Taurus, my values, our values. So for you, this our values and the energetic wounds, there may be some of that you have to release and let go. So it may also be people that you share, that you have shared values with. I can't, discount that. That absolutely could be part of this for you. But there's a new beginning for you. And so just think about it as making room for the new. And we're going to talk about Mars for you. Okay. Mars 6-7 months into the future it began at the butt end of August. Mars went into Gemini energy. So for Librans, Mars is like my physical body, and it likes to move. It likes to take action. It doesn't want to just sit still. It may talk about something and think about something because it's in Gemini, and Gemini is the talker. It thinks and it talks, but it's moving fast. It's like rapid fire. Mars is super impatient. We got to remember our Mars energy. It's very much of the ego, but it can be very childlike. Okay. So when it's in Gemini, it may have a thought, it may have this idea, and it may be ready to take action. And the caution is in Gemini energy. Okay. We have to remember we may not have all the information. And if we act too quickly before we have all the information, we may put ourselves or find ourselves in a trick bag where we may make a decision or make a choice. Why did I say that? Damn, why did I do that? It might be something like that. So the lesson with Mars is to teach it to have some patience. That's its lesson. Now, because it's in Gemini, it's to teach it to close its mouth, to stay quiet, to think before it speaks, after it's thought about it multiple times and counted to 10, counted to 20 maybe, right? So that it could bring itself down from being on 10 to being like at a 2, and then being able to clearly and calmly speak about something and kindly. Then it's doing a good job, right? That's how we're teaching and training our Mars energy. But for you, because it's in your 9th house, Libra, this is higher education and learning. This is also traveling long distances, like getting in an airplane, taking off, right? Vacation, travel. It's Gemini energy. So traveling long distances to teach, traveling long distances to learn, because it's higher education. So it's also publishing. Are you putting together a piece of work? 9th house is truth and freedom. So because Mars is here now, we're going to want to take action with our truths. Yeah, it's what I believe in, right? That's that 9th house. Beliefs, truths, philosophy on life. It's also the judicial system, right? The judicial system. So we're going to be taking action. Possibly, maybe you'll choose to become, you'll get involved. You'll get involved politically, maybe. You might be one of those electors, those judges for elections. An election judge, you know what I'm saying? The people who help people who are trying to vote. That's kind of like partaking in the system, right? But again, it's the higher law. It's the making of the laws. It's the judicial system. But for each of us, we take it and we do something with it, and whatever and wherever, what level we're at, whatever is comfortable for us. Okay. So 9th house, yes, it's freedoms, it's truth, it's philosophy on life. And remember that teacher energy. So when I say that, and why I repeated it, is because Mars in Gemini constantly going at the mouth. So there might be some times, right, all the way until like March, April of 2023, where you're going to want to make sure, especially if you're someone who is in higher education or a student, if a teacher says something to you, watch what you say, right? Or if an authority figure at the job, like if you're working somewhere, or maybe even a classmate, maybe even a student, right, may say something, you just got to be careful because Mars, again, no patience, yeah, and has just a short temper, and it can be like a pit bull where 1 minute it's like all the way down here at zero, and then someone says or does something and it can just go whoosh. It can just be on 10 in seconds. Okay. So keep that in mind. Let's pull you a card to clarify it. This time I'm being told to take the top card. I just listened to what I'm told. So that's what I'm doing. And here it is. Let's see what we come up with for you. For you. This is beautiful. This is interesting. This is Neptune and this is Pisces. This is super fascinating. I'm blown away, actually, because when I talked about your ninth house, right? I was ninth house is Jupiter energy, okay? And so with Jupiter energy, it's also the house of the divine, right? It's kind of got that like God energy. Like, do you talk to God? That's that ninth house. I didn't mention it, but it's religion and spirituality. Well, this card's reminding me to talk about that because, well, look at this card. This is an angel, right? There's these beautiful angel wings. There's looks like, I'm not sure if this is life-giving water, life-giving hope, possibly angelic waters of protection even. We've got Neptune and Pisces energy. It's understanding. It's seeing the connections, the unity, the oneness within us all. And the rainbow of hope is there. So in other words, you will be taking the high road. You're going to be training and teaching your Mars, right? Teaching your Mars how to take the high road, how to chill out for a second. Don't be quick to make a decision or an action. Think it through, okay? And don't speak. Just hold off for a minute. Let a little bit of time pass, like 24, 48 hours, like whatever your initial response is, write it down because it's Mars and Gemini. And if you can't write it down for whatever reason, speak it into a recorder, right? Do something where you can keep track of that thought and that response that you wanted Mars to say or that Mars wanted to pop out and pop off and say. After 48 hours, go back and review it. Mars is calmer. This is how Mars trains. This is how you train your Mars to take the higher road. Then see, okay, do I still feel that way? And then ask, how can I share that? How can I still say what I need to say? How can I speak my truth? Your ninth house. How can I speak my truth, but do it in a kind way where I can still be clear, where I can get the point across, but I'm not trying to stab somebody, where I'm not trying to throw the words as daggers. Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt somebody. I'm not trying to burn them. I'm just trying to get my point across or have a conversation. Okay. So this is a beautiful card. This is showing me you'll have the angelic assistance supporting you, but you will have to work at it. Okay. This is so beautiful. I love sharing beautiful things. So Libra, remember this, when you get angry or if something occurs and you feel like just going off, just, maybe come back to this video and give it a rewatch and see if it helps. And if it does, please comment to me and let me know. Hope you enjoy your October. Bye-bye. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.